And to trending now with Daisy Cousens, a YouTube star with a very own video channel, very successful. Please check it out. Daisy Cousens, even I can guess what trended today on social media. The Oscars ceremony, I am betting, which has been under huge pressure to go for more woke, more black winners, more minorities, more women. And of course, you got the inevitable politics being preached from the stage today. Here's a taste of it.
Today, the police will kill 3 people. And tomorrow, the police will kill 3 people. And the day after that, the police will kill 3 people. And those people happen to disproportionately be black people.
Not sure why 2 hotel concierges from their uniforms was accepting an offer. There you go. First of all, how did Twitter react to what was dished up today? You know, a socially distanced, made-for-TV show, bit of politics, no main host, lots of people of colour.
To be honest, Andrew, the reaction was pretty lackluster compared to previous years, which I guess is not surprising considering it was a pretty lackluster show after a pretty lackluster season for films, considering that so many big films were postponed thanks to COVID. You know, there's usually quite a bit of buzz on social media, but I didn't really get any of that, which is a shame because the Oscars, they used to be so much fun. You know, used to love watching the red carpet and there wasn't any kind of irritating politics, but it's really deteriorated. But one thing I did notice that I thought was worth mentioning is that actor Tyler Perry, who is a black man, won the annual Humanitarian Award, and he gave a really lovely speech about meeting in the middle and about how social media causes these big rifts and how he refused to hate. He refused to hate anyone based on their skin color, and he also included that he refused to hate white people and he refused to hate cops, and he invited everyone to just meet him in the center. And you couldn't not enjoy that, but all the reply tweets, Andrew, to the clip on Twitter were disparaging him for saying that he refused to hate cops, proving once and for all his point that social media has caused these big rifts and caused all this hate. So I think if you can't put your politics aside for 3 minutes to enjoy a lovely unifying speech, then there really is something wrong with you.
Well, I thought it was a very fine speech, but it's a sad day when you've got to say, I refuse to hate cops, I refuse to hate white people. I think where the hell is the anti-racist movement going? Now, I actually thought that the race politics would be even more in your face than it was, but it was there. Now, the Oscars have been under huge pressure and they're changing their rules about films to win awards. They have to have so many people of colour and so many this and that, you know, lots of quotas and all that. And I think, I don't know, did they respond to it this year? You had the winner, the Best Supporting Actor, was from this film, Judas and the Black Messiah, about Fred Hampton, a founder of the Black Panthers, a Marxist revolutionary he was, killed by Chicago police more than 50 years ago. Have a look.
I am a revolutionary!
Now, here's the Oscar winner from that film, Daniel Kaluuya, the son of Ugandan parents who was born in London 20 years after Hampton's death.
The fact that I can even stand on this stage with this statue is because of what he did.
He showed me, he taught me. Him, Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale, the Black Panther Party, they showed me how to love myself.
Now, Daisy, why is he crediting a Marxist revolutionary movement in America that shot police 20 years before he was born over in Britain? Why is he crediting them for his success and self-esteem? I mean, I would have thought he might thank Britain, first of all, for giving the opportunities that Uganda would not have.
Well, yes, exactly. I really raised my eyebrows at the fact he thanked this sort of Marxist revolutionary, often quite violent movement, to say the least. I mean, certainly Britain's given him a huge amount of opportunities, this supposedly very terribly racist Britain. I find that hard to believe considering his wonderful success. But I think, Andrew, it reflects where popular culture sits generally nowadays on the kind of left to right spectrum. I mean, the fact they can even make films celebrating and glorifying the Black Panthers, who are, for all intents and purposes, an extremist movement. And if you think of even the later incarnation of the group, the New Black Panthers, which was founded in 1980, They were virulently anti-Semitic on top of everything else. I mean, it's just interesting when you see people can wear T-shirts with Che Guevara on it, and Teen Vogue can sort of celebrate the birthday of Karl Marx, which they did a couple of years ago, which was quite interesting, when really those kinds of figures should be spoken about in the same way we talk about Adolf Hitler or the Ku Klux Klan, for instance. I find it quite concerning that we're that skewed to the left, that we can talk about, you know, violent dictators and violent movements as somehow heroic, and really they caused a huge amount of damage.
Now, Best Animated Feature was won for the first time by a cartoon movie featuring an African-American lead character. Then there was South Korea's Yoo Jong-un, who won for Best Supporting Actress, and Chloe Zhao became the first Asian female to win Best Director and also won Best Picture for Nomadland, about poor Americans moving around the country, a bit like nomads, and making kind of community. But here's my issue with that, Daisy. The premise of that Nomadland sounds really good. I'll certainly go and see it. But with all this pressure on the Oscars to be more diverse, how can you actually then trust the judges who made a call on that film, that director, without race politics in their mind and gender politics?
Look, well, exactly, and that was exactly my thought as well about this year's Oscars, and it is a shame because, as you say, Nomadland looks really good. I will see it as well, but there's certainly one of the films that was nominated for Best Picture, you know, Young Promising Woman. I saw that, and look, I thought it was very entertaining and not as irritatingly woke as I expected, but in a normal year, it would not get nominated for Best Picture, you know, not even close. And I think ultimately film and the performance arts generally are going to suffer, Andrew, with all this pressure to include this identity and that identity. I mean, writers and creators and directors are just going to get so paranoid that they won't know what to create. It's all going to fall apart, and I think that is a real shame.
Yeah, in the end, the night was robbed of its predicted climax. Best Actor awards were both won by whites, Frances McDormand for No Man Land, and at the very end, Sir Anthony Hopkins, who beat out the favourite Chadwick Boseman, who died of cancer after starring in Black Judas. And now there's a reaction on social media. Why didn't the black guy win? So it seems you can't do enough to please it. Daisy Cousens, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Andrew.